Hello, and welcome to Replay Value. If Psycho-Pass's first episode was focused on what the Sybil system does for society on the larger scale, this second episode brings us to a more personal level, what it does for individuals. Does might actually be too kind of a word in the majority of cases. Imposes seems more fitting. Because instead of the pilot's brief introduction of the way Sybil functions in a larger societal context, the quick outline of the roles the characters fulfill, and primarily focusing on the police procedural plot, Episode 2 plays foil by putting its characters at the forefront, with Sybil's function directly affecting those characters, and the actual job taking a massive step back except for how it illuminates that concept. Psycho-Pass starts off its second episode by equating Kogami and Akane in cinematic terms. Shot 1 is a look at something electronic that makes a noise. Shot 2 is the upside-down face slowly opening the eyes. Shot 3 is POV looking up at the ceiling. And the fourth shots also use a similar angle and frame, though from there the two sequences diverge. This decision places the two characters as a point of comparison. The fact that they've been treated the same way by the camera in this simple moment evokes the question of why. The act of waking up is no different between Kogami and Akane in the actual physical movement. It's their circumstances that create contrast, the way Sybil has determined their lot in life. This also raises a whole bunch of symmetry between Kogami and Akane that is important as the show continues. But we're going to stay focused on episodes 1 and 2 here. You're smart enough that you can apply my discussion here to future episodes even if I don't blatantly outline it, right? As we continue onward, we get this very cool futuristic apartment room that's able to swap styles and is at the least partially automated. And we get this throwaway line about 0% chance of rain, the opposite of episode 1's rainy chase, which should suggest that this episode is going to be in stark contrast. And sure enough, instead of some dark, imposing, cramped building, we go out onto a patio with the sun shining and casual conversation. This conversation, though, has this great moment where one of the friends says, "God is really unfair," right as a robot rolls by. To me, it's one of those nice moments of discord, a reference to God while showing a machine. Sybil is making decisions and interpreting mental state, which is represented by the robot. Not only does this equate Sybil with God from a judgment of mankind perspective, but also raises questions of if Sybil is fair. And this show is going to explore the crap out of that. This lighthearted discussion also highlights the massive authority Sybil has over the vast majority of people's lives, as they discuss how they've been placed into jobs by the system and that Akane's ability to choose is irregular. The discussion ends with the friend saying that Akane is going to be a great inspector, not just because Sybil said so, but because of their intuition as well. This throwaway comment speaks to a reminder of how society used to work, where people just did the things they liked or figured they'd be good at, or still in some cases obligated to. And with that, we transition to Akane returning to work. And that work is really just an interlude. There's a guy weirdly stalking a couple, but Masaoka quickly finds him and takes him in. It's very much the opposite of the lengthy extended operation we saw last time. And there's this weird feeling where the guy didn't actually do anything wrong, but he's being targeted for it. It's a little bit like the Minority Report where people are getting in trouble for things they haven't done. But here, instead of future predictions, it's based on mental state. The system labeled him a threat and he was taken care of. It's a simple A to B relationship. But that is what sets up this great moment for Akane at Kogami's bedside, where Kogami basically states that he became a mindless drone for Sybil's will as an enforcer, visually represented by these bleeding colors and blurring, which is awesome. But Akane in an instant put thoughtfulness back into the system. She worked outside of Sybil's judgment to achieve a better result, which immediately tells us, the viewer, that Sybil isn't perfect. It also suggests that this conflict between carrying out duty, represented by Sybil, and seeking out justice, represented by our own morality, will come into play throughout the series. Kagari during dinner makes a mention that Akane is like a person from before Sybil, in that she was able to make her own determinations about career. But she's also our representative in the narrative as far as morality goes, and this desire to figure out who we are, surrounded by a system that tells people who they are. Sybil's determination for Masaoka, Kagari, Shion, Kogami limits their options, where they can go, and similar to Akane's friends, what they can do. After 2 episodes, does it seem fair that Masaoka is treated like a criminal? How can a 5-year-old be put away forever without having done anything? Is it fair for Shion to be overworked and trapped to one building just because that's what the system says? It doesn't feel that way, though we only know a little bit about any of these 3 characters at this point. The trade-off for these individual losses is that society as a whole seems to be doing well. So by the end of the 2nd episode, this conflict has been built up, which is more important. The individual or society as a whole. Of course, that conflict is only true if society as a whole is actually doing well and the system is working properly, which, well, the show's gonna explore the crap out of that too. Psycho Pass in 2 episodes has crafted a series of moral and philosophical conflicts through simple contrasts and great character moments. The interplay between an episode that explores the effect on society and then a follow-up on the effect of that society on individuals is a brilliant way to introduce the themes of Psycho Pass that it plans to explore before we even get to a central narrative thread. Hope you enjoyed. Leave a like and comment with your thoughts, subscribe for more videos, and follow me on Twitter for my live analyses and future projects. Link in the description. We'll be back real soon with another video, but until then, thanks for watching.